Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take today to cover a few different things. But first and foremost, Mr. Dark Warning chimed in, said he had lunch with not only Todd, but he also had lunch with Mark. And he said that both of these guys have said that they have in no way given Icon, a Harbor Freight brand, permission to use this design, which is undeniably very similar to the Mini Glimpse by Steelcraft. This is good news in a way because Icon is a much bigger and richer company, and there's not an attorney in the United States of America that would turn this case down pro bono. So, you know, it's an American company. I know it was produced in China, so is this knife, but it is an American company. So this is an American company versus an American company, both in California. So like this could probably be handled in state. I don't know. I'm not an expert at law. I'm talking out of the side of my mouth, ain't I, Dirk? But what I can tell you is that if intellectual property was stolen, it's an open and shut case for the beggs, and I'm happy to hear about that. Now, this knife is Icon. Gets a lot of hate in the community because it copies the Steelcraft Mini Glimpse, and I understand that. I really do. But I would like to talk to you today about this knife. Lots of trusted voices in the community very much support the Olightens multi-bladed knife. It's also a stolen design from Leatherman. I'm not saying Dark Warning. You know, like I don't watch Dark's channel often enough to know if he has an opinion about this knife or not. But this is a direct copy. As in the blades are pretty much interchangeable with Leatherman's Garage Series Batch. I want to say 06 or 03 or something like that. You can find the knife. It's not a production knife. Not not a lot of them out there, but the design's not theirs. They even went so far to make the back spacer the same color. And there's a lot of trusted voices in this community that sing this knife's praises for being a great tool to have around. You have to have it around at the price point. It comes with 3 9CR 18 MOV blades. It's a titanium frame lock. Got a deep carry pocket clip. There's just not a whole lot wrong with it, except for the fact that it's stolen. So let's talk about that. From what I hear, sometimes when you sign contracts for OEMs to produce your stuff in China, you often get misled by the contracts that will go into play. I don't know because I've never signed a contract to make anything in China, and I likely will never do so. But the fact is like the contracts can be quite confusing, so I hear. So sometimes they give you a better rate if you allow them to use your design. I'm not saying that's what's happened here. I'm not saying that at all. I really hope the beggs get justice off of this knife if there wasn't some sort of fine print in the contract that Mark, or I would say most likely Mark, because he was dealing with a much more affordable OEM when he was having the begg knives Mini Glimpse made is not the same thing as the Steelcraft Mini Glimpse. This is made by Riot, and the other is God knows who makes it. You know, like it's very cheap in comparison to the price of this knife. It's like what, $75, something like that. It's in D2. This is M390. Regardless, I'm not going to go through all that. But what about the principalities of this knife? The Olightens. I will definitely get the model number and put it in the title or the description. But Olitans, usually when you say it, or whenever I say it, people are saying, Olight did that? Like, no, I don't think it has anything to do with Olight. It's Olitans, like Olightens or whatever. It's pretty much exclusively an Amazon type of thing. The knife isn't bad at all. It's a pretty good design. I wasn't crazy about it because I couldn't keep the thumb studs on, but I've come around and I figured out ways to keep that from, a little bit of Loctite, just a little bit of Loctite, not the permanent stuff, just the just the other tube, the blue tube or whatever. Okay. I can understand why people don't like this one because it's stolen. Somebody help me, somebody explain it to me why this one right here, some of the same voices that don't support this knife at all, that wouldn't own this knife at all, sing praises for this knife. I'm just curious because this is like I said, man, this is another Chinese ripoff of maybe an American company. I don't know who owns Olightens, but it's a Chinese knife ripped off of an American-made knife's design, Leatherman, to be exact. I'm gonna end right here, and I'd like to see your comments in the discussion. So just let me know what you think. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I don't really care. I'm gonna use the hell out of this knife until it goes away, just like I have with this one. My wife has with this one more specifically, and I'm probably gonna use this one too. I already own it, right? And when I bought this knife, I didn't know that it was a Leatherman ripoff. Somebody pointed it out to me. I did a little bit of research. It for sure enough is. It doesn't look exactly the same. Like there's a little bit more design finesse with the Leatherman than there is with this one. But the locking mechanism, the clamping mechanism for the blade, the blades, pivot, locking, and just about everything. Even, like I said, even the back spacer, same color. Like, I think the back spacer on the Leatherman is like milled and it goes all the way down, but you ain't gonna worry about that because you're probably not ever gonna find one. Garage series are very rare, but regardless, do these people have the right to make it? And do our trusted voices in the community have the right to promote it? Give me your thoughts. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side. P.S. If you happen to be still watching at this point, the attorney information that I gave earlier kind of came by example of when Hogue got taken to court by Benchmade, because Benchmade makes the Benchmade Triage, and Hogue makes a knife called the Hogue Trauma Line. Or they did. They were supposed to sell out of those by April of 2024. That was an order that was given to them in April of 2023. Benchmade didn't have to pay a dime. Benchmade took them to court. They won the case. It was an intellectual property dispute, just like this should be an intellectual property dispute, and so should this, I suppose. Unless this company right here happens to be in China, and it's hard to take Chinese companies to court. Like you make them come over here and pay penalties. It's not happening. So anyway, that's where I got my information, was because Hogue had to pick up the bill. Hogue had to pick up the bill for Benchmade taking them to court. So they had to pay all those fines, and then they got the cease and desist order. A long drawn out little case, but it didn't cost Benchmade anything. So, like not on the forefront, not in court cost and all that stuff. Like the attorneys got their money from Hogue. All right, I'm out.